Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sade coming through to talk about the Aries new moon that we have happening on March 21st. And we literally have the sun moving into the sign of Aries March 20th, which marks the spring equinox. And then right after, we have the moon in the sign of Aries on March 21st. So we have a lot of shift and change in energy coming about in these next few weeks, actually, because after the new moon goes into Aries, we also have Pluto moving into the sign of Aquarius, which will be a whole new video. But pertaining to this new moon that we have right now, we have the sun in Aries, the moon, as well as the planets Mercury and Jupiter. Mercury is the planet of communication. Jupiter is the planet of expansion as well as spirituality. And on top of having these four different aspects in the sign of Aries, we also have Chiron, which is the wounded healer, dealing with our personal wounds, our personal strives and weaker spots of ourselves that we might be more insecure about. That is also in the sign of Aries. So there's five major aspects to Aries, and it is truly a Mars energy. If you don't know the sign of Aries, Aries is masculine, it's ruled by Mars, and it is the first zodiac sign. So Aries rules the initiation and the action that we take towards taking care of ourselves and bringing ourselves back to personal power. Aries energy is all about courage, initiative, and taking control of one's life. Whenever we're working with Aries energy, we're dealing with that warrior spirit. So as we move out of Pisces and we move from the Virgo full moon right into the new moon in Aries, this is a time to be courageous in what we want for ourselves and to really start initiating the planting of those seeds and not caring necessarily on trying to figure out the details and the steps of how we're going to go about things. With Aries energy, it's really instinctual, it's very animalistic, and it's about deep desires. So, whatever you're desiring and craving for yourself in this new year cycle, don't worry about the how you're going to go about doing it, the steps that you need to take to get there. You just having that deep desire internally within yourself is enough to push forward and initiate the changes and shifts that you need to start making in your life to really start manifesting the life that you want to have for yourself. Now, the reason why this Aries new moon is really important, I mean, all the moons are important, but this new moon is important because the North Node will be moving into the sign of Aries this summer. And we will have the North Node in Aries for an entire year and a half. I'm going to do a video on that separately. But basically, we are working with a lot of Mars energy of taking back our personal power and finding that courage to fight for the life that we want for ourselves. Aries is ruled by Mars. Mars is the planet of war, but it's really the planet of fighting for oneself, fighting for what one believes in, fighting for what one is passionate about. And what I love about Aries energy, I myself am an Aries moon, so I identify a lot with Mars energy. Aries is all about using your own personal power and igniting your own flame. With this new moon, it doesn't matter if other people around you might not understand your ideas or might not agree with the new things that you want to start in your life. Aries is all about being that individual, being independent, and taking care of your needs on your own. This energy is really initiating this idea of how can I take care of myself? How can I go after the things that I need for myself? How can I get the things that I need for myself? And not necessarily needing to rely on other people to do it for you. Aries is all about independence and all about being a leader. If there has been any place in your life that you have been feeling maybe that you've been sabotaging your energy or you've been feeling very insecure, this energy in Aries with all of these aspects is really pushing you to lead and take stance in your life to lead and to really be seen as a leader in whatever area you are having this new moon energy in. So take a look at your chart, see where you have Aries in your chart. I have it in my 12th house of spirituality. So really looking forward to a lot of changes in that area of my life and leading in those areas of my life this up and coming year and a half. And really lastly, before we close out this new moon video, Aries rules impulsivity. And now is really not the time to be too impulsive on things, right? Have an idea of what it is that you want to do, start taking action, but don't be impulsive because you will be tempted to dive head first, which is very, very common for Aries. The reason I say this is because Mars, which is the planet ruler of Aries, is currently in the sign of Gemini, which is great because Gemini and Aries pair very well together. Gemini is the sign that rules communication as well as information. However, Mars is squaring Neptune, which is in the sign of Pisces. So there is a lot of unclear information that we are missing. There's a lot of information that might be hidden. And there's a lot of things that might seem a certain way, but behind the scenes, there's other things happening. And you really want to wait until that square kind of pushes itself out before taking that direct action. Now, you can do it regardless of such because Aries is about knowing instinctively and intuitively because it's in the moon what you want and what you need for yourself, as well as what you desire. But just understand that there might be a little bit of resistance and pushback and unclear movements because we have that square of Mars as well as Neptune, Mars being the planet ruler of Aries. So, not a time to be impulsive, but definitely a time to be playful and to be spontaneous. Try something new just for the sake of, just to say that you've done it and just to build your own self esteem and your own courage. Aries may not necessarily know how to do something and they may not be the best person at doing it. But one thing about Aries energy is they're all about taking courage, taking initiative of one's own life, and having that self worth of saying, I'm worthy of trying regardless of what happens in this area. So, lots of beautiful, fun energy happening in these up and coming weeks. I will be making another video about Pluto in Aquarius, which will be a great aspect to the sun being in the sign of Aries. So, happy Aries new moon, happy new year, that we are finally in the spring and the sun is finally back. I'll see y'all for our next video. Bye, y'all.